What's good, YouTube? And happy Banlist Day! The Banlist has slammed the market, but not in the way that a lot of y'all expected. Why isn't tier limit skyrocketing? Why isn't it going to the moon? This is the deck to beat right now. It barely got a slap on the wrist. There are so many factors working against this that it's not even funny. But yeah, the planet's gone up a little because there were like 5 listings under 60, and now it's available around that market price once again, and it was falling out. First off, I don't blame you if you missed the notification, but there are going to be unlimited boxes of Power of the Elements. Unlimited edition, not like them falling from the sky. So that hasn't happened for Yu-Gi-Oh! For a very, very long time. For a core set especially, I don't think that's happened since Starlights were a thing, and since Starlight shouldn't be in an unlimited product, this is the value they're trying to chop up and really push over at Konami. But then you're in the winter season, not the WCQ season, where February, March, that's the list that usually drives everything really crazy for the metagame, and people sink in and invest for the road to nationals to try to get the worlds. And a lot of people are hoping this is weakened to where they can play other decks, or they already got their invite and they're chilling till then, not wanting to deal with banlist fears. Heck, Pokemon came out, people are diving into that. There's a lot of reasons. X and Y for Pokemon actually really hurt our market back in the day, but Scarlet and Violet have their own set of issues, right? So when we're looking at this current value, not even considering unlimited and how that's going to bring more quantities on the market, you're looking at Sprite Blue and 2 Good Ultras, or getting the Primeval Planet to actually get your value back out of a box, and the unlimited edition is going to make some of these things cheaper. I think it's great for the players, but still not a great product to open, and I don't know which of the big vendors are even gonna bite on this or try to end up selling it, because while the name is great, I think people will quickly realize this doesn't feel so great to open when there's not a Starlight to chase after, a lottery feeling to win. I'm going after one card to kind of get my money back. The Ishizu stuff also didn't spike. First off, it's not short printed over here in the US. It is some of it over in the EU, but again, with that banlist speculation, a lot of people are thinking that, hey, this might be what they hit and bounce heading into the WCQ. It's not at the prices where Konami wants to cash back in again Megaton time, like they would with the core set stuff. So there's tons of just different reasons why people aren't eating this side of the deck up either. Now let's talk about some of the direct interactions. Ptolemaeus, this is what I missed over on my Banlist video, and it's an interesting one, but I think people are overreacting a little bit to this in terms of price and how crazy it's going, and you do see listings starting to come back already, but the knee-jerk reaction has been towards Satellar Knight Constellar Diamond, and if you read this card for the first time, you're, oh my gosh, in this format, what? So during your main phase 2, remember going first, you don't get a main phase 2, so you're going to have to do extra materials to Ptolemaeus. You can also Xyz summon this card using a Tellar Knight Xyz monster you control as the Xyz material, except for Constellar Diamond, which is this card. While this card has Xyz materials, neither player can send cards from the deck to the graveyard, and any card that returns from the graveyard to the hand is banished instead. Yeah, if I'm reading this and I'm thinking about tier limit, this seems pretty darn good. I'm hearing from the Discord that the Draco Slayer deck can consider going towards this instead of Apollosa, as well as that Exo Sister can apparently try to go into this. I don't play Exo Sisters. I don't know how legit that is. I do see them swarm the field sometimes, but for this card, I guess Draco Slayer is the one that's really going ahead with it. We'll see how it pans out. A card that reads like this, yeah, it has the ability to capture the moment and take the metagame, or you play against Flunder and you're like, why? Why do I have this card out? Macrocosmos and D-Fissure, speaking about Flunder, don't have the most printings in the world. Now, if you're going crazy for this right now, I can easily see Konami putting this in a future OTS pack, or hopefully mass in a reprint set in the spring, I guess we'll call it, since the March reprint set has been all over the place. But yeah, they want to unban this, I don't think, without a plan to implement a reprint and cash in a little bit, and that would likely be in a holographic form, I would imagine. But crazy prices for some of the nicer versions, like the secret rare headed towards 30 and the super rare back to the moon for D-Fissure, and you have the good old DR4 Macrocosmos too. I do like these from back in the day in terms of how they look, but I like them more on the ban list. They're here though, all we can do is adapt to Floodgate. Yep. Metaverse, Mark Zuckerberg jokes aside, it's going pretty crazy for the secret rare and the super. Luckily we have a common out of the Crystal Beast structure deck. That's the structure that just keeps on giving with the hand traps, Metaverse as well. So it's keeping it cheaper right now, but listings are going. So if you do want them, people are going to be picking these up in threes. Maybe just get the structures and split with the friends. I think the displays would be the best way to budget that out. We'll look in a second. But the secret rare is a speed duel exclusive from that Battle City box that has had a lot of churning and different value. And this has had multiple buyouts before, so it's going to replenish on the market slower. And the super rare is out of an OTS pack, and then every single other version is a rare or common. I just usually care about playing the card. If I can get it nice, I do like that. But I think splitting these displays, look, there's 8 of them, maybe between 2 to 3 friends is one of the cheapest approaches, because the MSRP still went up on structure decks, and you're looking at shipped to your front door $56. So if you and a buddy went 30 and 30, which actually you save a couple dollars versus that, you each end up getting 4 structure decks instead of 3, and I think that's a pretty nice deal overall, considering you get extra stuff to trade with or keep and look at later. Set rotation actually went up before Banlist Day. It was in the Discord this morning thanks to Yu-Gi-Oh! Software Guy, and when I'm looking at this, yeah, there's only one sale for a light play today, so this isn't really an in tandem sale with Metaverse, but something that was happening before and people were onto. Looking through Battles of Legend, there's a little movement here. F-Zero got help from the ban list is why we're here, and the quantities are the lowest on the front page besides looking at the Starlights. The second one that bumped up I did call Toon Blackluster Soldier. Casual does not mean broke in the market, and a lot of people love their Toon cards, and when's the next time they're gonna reprint these cards after doing it here? It might be years, and these are secret rare copies that look very nice. So Toon BLS being one of the only short prints that you play 3 of, yeah, people are definitely looking at this more so right now than most of the short prints. Access Code Talker coming down, Ian Shuffle also going up. I pointed out that hero players are super excited about that, but I didn't expect it to start going up versus down this quickly, so good for it. And F-Zero, looking specifically at it, only has the ultra rare version as well, which is what the secret's starting to go for, which means as it goes up and up and up, people will start to settle for the ultra. And the collector rare right now really not doing too much that I've seen through the day. There are a couple of sales, but not many, so not a lot of people going for the max rarity, and a lot of people just going, hey, the secret looks pretty good. Looking over here at Dark Wing Blast, Unicorn is the main thing moving right now, and that's very interesting. People really want to play anything but Tearlament. So the Kashtira, I probably murdered that. I really need to sit down and listen to Jerome say it like 5 times. But the Unicorn is starting to move and bump back up again as people prepare for the later formats from the ban list. And it's kind of what's been moving here. Skullmeister as an anti-Tearlament tech has been going a little bit wild for its super rare. And all versions are starting to head up towards that dollar. Nobody wants to open Ancient Guardian just for these. And speaking of, there is the collector rare version and the old Starstrike Blast first edition as the nicest. But yeah, the super rare is starting to move up here and get a lot of attention after the YCSs, and the lowest are around $3.50. Need about Tree Fitty. When we're looking through the Lyrilusk, not a lot of movement. I would kind of suggest getting this sooner than later. I think that it'll actually be somewhat decent and be able to do some things within the format, but again, contender versus what's out there right now, we'll have to wait and see how it does. When Barrier Statue banned in Master Duel, by the way, I see y'all. But for this deck, getting this back is huge for its combos and end boards, and it's just oh so cheap right now out of a set people don't want to open. The losers from the ban list are pretty obvious. Herald of the Orange Light has its ultimate rare. I did not know it was like still at $160+. That's absurd. So people taking some very fat L's on those, and you see that it's around around the 100, well, you can still play the 1 copium, and the supers are going to be coming back down too, as people, you know, it was already a side deck option for some people. It wasn't even main decked for everybody. It'll be interesting to see how it adapts in the metagame. And Mystic Mine being gone, this is one I can see people making full binders out of, but it is falling fast. I expect it to fall, you know, continuously here until it hits a certain point where people go, all right, I want to make my binder, and then we'll see how that does. But it is an interesting ban card because as things go on, one day in the future, they can also end up coming off. So people like to speculate on that too. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And Banlist Day is crazy as usual, but not as crazy as a lot of the past ones, as we are in the chill winter market with the metagame.